Hello, my dear children. Namaste and welcome to this session of our class in ICSE Biology chapter Nervous System. This is Ambika, your biology master teacher, right here on this amazing platform of Vedantu. Okay, guys, so we are well into this chapter, Nervous System, and we've already had a couple of sessions in which we've got a basic idea about what exactly are the major functions of the nervous system. We've spoken about the neurons, for example, and we've also spoken about the central nervous system, right? The brain and the spinal cord. So today, let us continue and learn more about nervous system. There are plenty of other things about the nervous system that we must know for our level and beyond that also. In fact, there is plenty that would be very, very interesting to know. But anyway, let us look at an inspirational quote here. Happiness can be found in even the darkest of times, but only those who remember to turn on the light. Yes, how beautifully said, right? So many times we may feel that it's the end of the world, that everything is, there are no more, there is no more way to do anything that you wanted to do or however you wanted to do. But then, if you actually have the will to go ahead with full confidence, if you actually have the will to, live your life to the fullest, you will certainly find a way out. Okay, although I said you, it applies to me also, it applies to all of us. All right, and let me share something very, very exciting with you all. Some of you must be already aware of this fact, but anyway, we can't stop talking about it, especially as teachers, because Vedantu students have bagged top ranks in IIT JEE, and this has been the best result amongst all online classes. And these are some of our super scorers from JEE Advanced 2020. So hearty congratulations to all of these super scorers, to all of these children, because it purely shows how much they really wanted to achieve it, despite the fact that there is so much uncertainty around in the year 2020, right? So hats off to all these children, and you guys also are capable of reaching your best potential if you actually have the will to do it. Okay, don't worry at all, because we, as always, will always be here to support you. All right, and coming to the homework question I had given you in the last class, which is the largest part of the human brain. Okay, so these are the major parts that we have discussed in the last class: cerebrum, corpus callosum, the hypothalamus. I've also told you about the cavities, which are called ventricles. There's thalamus, the pituitary, pons, and then, of course, before the pons, I have to mention the midbrain and the hindbrain, made up of the pons, medulla, and cerebellum. Right. So, among so many different parts, what do you think is the biggest portion, the largest part? I've mentioned this in the last class very clearly. It is your seat of intelligence, the thinking area of your brain, the most intelligent part of your brain, and that is the cerebrum, which is made up of two cerebral hemispheres. This makes up 85% of our brain, approximately. Akanksha Sharma and Ishika Gupta have given me the answer first for this, and both of them say the answer is cerebrum. So thank you very much. Oh, Akanksha, thank you so much for your nice words also, your very sweet words also, saying that this session was amazing. Thank you, ma'am. You're absolutely welcome, Akanksha, and everyone else out there. So yes, with that in mind, let us move on and try and learn about the peripheral nervous system, under which we will also understand about two parts, two other aspects, two other divisions of the nervous system, which are somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Okay. All right, and moving on, it's very, very important for me to tell you something super duper useful to all of you. So basically, this, what you see in front of you right now, is a list of the most commonly faced problems by children these days because of online education, like completely online training and education and teaching and everything. Plenty of doubts which are left unanswered. You don't have proper notes because probably in your schools, you might have had a more systematic approach. Maybe now that's somewhere missing. Tests and assignments, the formats have completely changed this year, right? Competitive exams, choice of schedule, choice of language, everything seems to be a problem. But not to worry at all, children, because as long as you are associated with Vedantu, We have got everything solved for you, not just solving these problems, but we also give you plenty of bonuses. And when I say bonuses, that would mean unlimited live classes, plenty of micro courses and crash courses, performance reports, and personalized attention, because that is what makes a proper teaching course complete, right? So, for those of you who don't know what a micro courses are basically chapter level or topic level courses, okay? Because you may be the kind of child who needs extra help with maybe like only a few topics or a few chapters. Micro courses are just the thing for you. Topic level or chapter level courses for you. All right. And to know more about this, children, do visit the link in the description box below and check out the pinned comment in the comment section below also. And to avail the best benefits in terms of discounts that we have out there, especially for you, you can use the coupon code AMBPRO. Okay, so let me just quickly guide you through it anyway. Once you click on that link, you will be you will be taken to a window where you have to choose your grade. Say, for instance, it's grade 10 that you're studying, and you will choose that. And then you have to choose your board, wherein you have to select your target. Basically, it is ICSE 2021 or whatever it is for you, because I normally have a mix of children attending my classes. So choose it accordingly, what is relevant to you. Check out all the details. Now, I have told you most of the features, but additionally, a lot of other features have been mentioned here. So check out all of those and understand well enough what comes in this package, which we call Vedantu Pro. What's the next step? Of course, go ahead and get the subscription. And what is the pricing like? Because that's the big question that most children ask us. So we've got a different pricing plan for 1 month, 3 months, and for 6 months. So for a 1 month of pro subscription, wherein for 1 full month, that is for roughly 30 days, you get unlimited live interactive classes, test series and analysis, assignments and notes, everything for all your major subjects, be it your physics, chemistry, bio, your social studies subjects, history, economics, geography, civics, all of those. And of course, English, okay? Everything. Maths, of course. Oh, how can I forget that? Right. All your major core subjects covered for you, and everything together for 1 full month is normally priced at rupees 2,699. Okay, that's without any discounts. But as I said, you can go ahead and apply the coupon code AMBPRO to get this amount reduced to 2,159.2. All right, this is for a 1 month of pro subscription. For a 3-month subscription, you can go ahead and check out a longer duration subscription, which is for roughly 90 days, 3 months basically. So this is normally priced at 6,999 for all of this together. But again, application of the same code AMBPRO reduces your amount payable to 5,599.2. Okay, this is for 3 months. And we also have it for 6 months, wherein for the next 6 months, you guys can just stay tension free. All you need to do is stay subscribed and be sincere and regular students at Vedantu, because we will be here to give you the best possible attention. Of course, even in the 1 month and 3 months, the quality doesn't change. All the time saying is, in 6 months, obviously, as the name indicates, it will be for a longer duration of time. Okay, so for 6 months, it's normally priced at 11,499, but application of the code AMBPRO, you get it reduced to 9,199.2. Okay, children, so just check it out. Check out all the details. You guys have nothing to lose. I know many of you might have heard this said by all of us teachers multiple times, but you know what? The actual fire within you may get ignited only on the eve of the exam. So why wait until then? That is exactly why we've been talking about this for the last many weeks, so that you can avail the best benefits of it right from the start, and start your preparations early, and give equal focus on all your major subjects. That's exactly what these are aimed at. Okay, children, and let's move on and understand about the nervous system. Now, I have told you in the last class that the nervous system is broadly divided into the central nervous system, which includes the brain and the spinal cord, right? The brain stem also, as some places mention it, but it's chiefly the brain and the spinal cord, right? Because the brain stem anyway is a part of the brain itself. And then comes the peripheral nervous system. What exactly is the peripheral nervous system? Well, peripheral nervous system, as the name indicates, what exactly is periphery? A boundary or an outline, right? So what exactly am I talking about? The central nervous system, which is your brain and spinal cord, are deep set inside your cranium and inside your vertebral column, respectively. How does it help you if it just stays there and is unable to sense everything that's happening around you? It needs the help of something, right? That is what the peripheral nervous system is, which is basically, simply put, a set of nerves that originate from the brain and the spinal cords. Those nerves that originate from the brain, we call it the cranial nerves. Those that originate from the spinal cord, we call them spinal nerves. Okay, it's not just this, there is a lot more to it. In fact, your emotions also, your anger, your frustration, your stress at the time of exams, you feel like running away on the day of a very, very important exam when you feel unprepared. You may feel like running away when you suddenly happen to notice a snake on your way, things like that. What helps it? And even like experiencing peace of mind and staying calm and cool and relaxed, just eating a snack and just staying there relaxed. All of these emotions are actually also under the control of one segment of your nervous system. Okay, let's try and understand more about it. The nervous system is broadly categorized as the central nervous system, which is, we call it, the body's master control unit, okay, including the brain and the spinal cord. And then comes the peripheral nervous system, which is basically the body's link to the outside world. The peripheral nervous system can be further classified as somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Somatic nervous system is the segment of your peripheral nervous system. Now, do remember, children, central nervous system is commonly abbreviated as CNS. Okay, peripheral nervous system is commonly abbreviated as PNS. Okay, you need to be familiar with these abbreviations. So the PNS is categorized as somatic and autonomic nervous system. So somatic nervous system is the segment of PNS which is involved in sending information to your skeletal muscles, your striated muscles, or what we call the voluntary muscles of your body, like your limbs and everything else that is under voluntary control, right? And then autonomic nervous system includes a set of ganglia or certain structures. I will tell you what ganglia are in a bit. Nothing complex about it. It's something very simple. A set of ganglia which helps in controlling involuntary actions like your cardiac action, your the action of your lungs, and all of these. I'm not talking about the output basically, because a lot of the control points are in your brain, but rather these have a more peripheral or a more connective role to play, wherein they are connecting between the functions of your central nervous system and the outside world. All right, so let us move on and understand. Let's just recall this brain and the spinal cord. We know what it is. This is the brain and this is the spinal cord, the red structure. The brain controls most organs of your body. It is protected by the cranium of the skull. Right. There is the cerebrospinal fluid also, which surrounds the brain and acts as a shock absorber, and it's got cranial nerves arising from it. The spinal cord, okay, do remember cranial nerves and spinal nerves are just mentioned here, but the nerves are part of the PNS, okay? Part of PNS. Here also. The same thing. Spinal cord arises from the brain. It's got spinal nerves, which are part of the PNS. But the brain and the spinal cord by themselves are part of the CNS. Okay, now let us learn more about the PNS. It includes nerves that emerge from and enter into brain and the spinal cord. This is how the peripheral nervous system's picture can be seen. Wherever you look at it, it looks like a cluster of thread-like structures. They are your nerves. Okay. I've told you it can be divided into two subcategories: somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Let's look at them one at a time, starting with somatic nervous system. The somatic nervous system consists of the two sets of nerves which I have told you about. The cranial nerves, which are a set of nerves that arise from the brain, and spinal nerves, which are a set of nerves arising from your spinal cord. Look at this picture and it will be very clear to you. Okay, so in fact, in the case of human beings, there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Okay, this varies with different species. Every higher organism has its own specific number of cranial nerves. This number in human beings, as you see in this image, is 12 pairs. Okay, like the olfactory nerves, the optic nerves, the oculomotor nerves, and so on. The names of these you don't have to know for your level, but I've just put them here for your reference. All right, and then yes, let me just come to spinal nerves also. How many spinal nerves do you have now? There are cervical nerves, thoracic nerves, lumbar nerves, sacral nerves, and coccygeal nerves. Okay, there is a certain number of cervical nerves, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and coccygeal. Okay, so what are these names actually? Now, again, these names you don't have to know, but these names are based on the region of the vertebrae, the vertebral column, right? That is inside, that is the bony structure within which the spinal cord is enclosed. Right. So the cervical vertebrae are the bones which are right there in the area where cervical nerves are originating. Based on which bones or which regions of the spinal cord we are talking about, which regions of the vertebral column we are talking about, the names of these spinal nerves have been given. Okay, so cervical, we do our vertebral column has got cervical region, it's got a thoracic region, it's got a lumbar region, it's got a sacral region, and it's called a coccygeal region, which we call coccyx also. And the names of the respective spinal nerves have been given accordingly. As simple as that. Okay, so yes, the number makes it totally 31 pairs. How is it 31? 8 pairs of cervical, which we call the neck region, 8 pairs in the neck region, 12 pairs in the thorax, the thoracic region, 5 pairs in the lumbar region, 5 pairs in the sacral region, and 1 pair in the coccygeal region. So it comes up to 8 plus 12 would be 20. 20 and then 5 and 5 becomes 30 and 1 makes it 31. Totally, you've got 31 pairs of spinal nerves and 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Okay, so these are the different kinds of cranial nerves. There are sensory nerves, there are motor nerves, and there are mixed nerves. So what exactly are they? Sensory nerves, as the name indicates, it's more associated with going from the brain to certain sense organs of your body, like the olfactory nerves, which are associated with the sense of smell, optic nerves, which would go to your eyes, and auditory nerves, which are concerned with hearing. All right, and then you have the motor nerves, which supply nervous connections to the different muscles, right? Especially like your eye muscles, for instance. Muscle and motor are very, very closely related terms. And then there may also be mixed nerves. Some of the cranial nerves are also mixed in nature. And these nerves are those that go to and come from regions like the face and tongue. Okay, so these are just examples of what mixed nerves and motor nerves and sensory nerves can be. Anyway, just remember the number. Overall, there are 12 pairs of cranial nerves in human beings and 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Now, spinal nerves are normally mixed nerves, which means that they've got both sensory and motor fibers. Okay, you will understand more about the sensory and motor aspects of it when we do reflex actions, which will be in the upcoming session. Okay. So that is about somatic nervous system, which typically is involved in controlling plenty of your voluntary muscles. And now comes autonomic nervous system. Autonomic itself has to give you an idea that it's something to do with being automatic. It just takes care of itself, involuntary basically. So what exactly happens here is there are plenty of nerves which are involved in the autonomic nervous system. Basically, a system of nerves and ganglia which are found on either side of the backbone, either side of the spinal cord, as we can say, right? And they control involuntary action of various internal organs. It may be your heart, it may be your lungs, it may be also involved in certain aspects of digestion, and so on and on and on. Okay, so how exactly do they function? Remember, I told you, I'll tell you the meaning of the word ganglia, right? So all the nerves which are associated with the autonomic nervous system, there would actually be a couple of neurons associated with each of these. Okay, a set of 2 neurons are always together. because there has to be a neuron that brings in information from the central nervous system, usually from the spinal cord in this case, sometimes from the brain also, a neuron which brings in information from the central nervous system. And there has to be a neuron that carries the information from the first neuron to the target organs. Okay, so I will just draw two neurons here. A neuron which comes from your central nervous system, and there will be a neuron which transmits this information to the target organs of the body, like your nerves, like your heart, your lungs, and so on. So there will be a portion, there will be a part, there will be an area, a structure basically, where these two neurons meet. That area is what we call ganglia. Ganglion is a singular term, ganglia is plural. Okay, so a ganglion or a ganglion, as some people call it, is an area where the pre-ganglionic neuron and the post-ganglion. This is pre-ganglionic and this is post-ganglionic. Okay, so the pre and the post-ganglionic neurons meet in the area which we call ganglion or ganglia in plural. So in fact, one ganglion would consist of plenty of millions and millions of cell bodies. Okay, so this is basically to give you an idea about what exactly ganglia are. Okay, so what you see in this image is just an example of how the autonomic nervous system can function. For example, we have a preganglionic autonomic motor neuron here, which transmits nerve impulses to a ganglionic motor neuron. Okay, there is a ganglion here to which it's transmitting nerve impulses from your central nervous system. Okay, and then from there, the post-ganglionic neuron, the ganglionic autonomic motor neuron, as it's mentioned here, transmits nerve impulses to the respective target organ, which could be typically a smooth muscle or an involuntary muscle. It could be a cardiac muscle. It could be certain glands of your body also, like your sweat glands and various other glands in your body also. Okay, so this is how these two individual neurons come together and pair up to transmit information from the central nervous system to your involuntary body parts, like your internal organs, such as cardiac muscles or other smooth muscles and glands. Okay, so this is about it. And this, what you see here, is a visceral sensory neuron which detects stimuli within blood vessels and smooth muscles in the viscera. Okay, it's just there for additional bit of information, but this is how the autonomic nervous system overall functions. Just understand the concept of ganglion and understand what pre-ganglionic neuron is and what a post-ganglionic neuron is. That's it. That's the gist of this. Because we don't end our discussion here, we have to talk about two subdivisions of the autonomic nervous system, which are sympathetic system and parasympathetic system. Sympathetic system is basically the system which we can describe by the usage fight or flight. Okay, the name, I think, is that caption is pretty self-explanatory, but I will tell you what exactly it is. So what happens is, in the sympathetic nervous system, nerves of sympathetic system arise from the spinal cord between the neck and the waist region, whereas in this case, the parasympathetic system is located at two places, anteriorly in the head and neck and posteriorly in the sacral region, which is the region of your backbone, which is like in your lower back. Okay, so this is about sympathetic and parasympathetic system. Let's understand them one at a time. Okay, so let me just become smaller now so that you guys can have a better look at it. What happens is, in sympathetic system, this is the system of your body that prepares you in emergency situations. You're walking along the road, you suddenly happen to see a snake. What do? You just have two options: either fight it or just run away. Fight or flight. Flight here means run away. Okay, so it helps you decide on one of these. But anyway, all it's doing is basically trying to help you escape that dangerous situation. Okay, be it by fighting or by running away, whatever it is. Sympathetic system is right there for you. So this is what it does. I think that cartoon shows it very, very nicely. And as you can see in this image, these are the different actions that are carried out by the sympathetic system. Basically, what it does is it helps in dilation of your pupils, inhibits salivation, relaxes the bronchi of your lungs, which are close to your lungs, accelerates heartbeat, inhibits peristalsis and secretion, stimulates glucose production and release, secretion of adrenaline and noradrenaline. Okay, adrenaline, you must have heard about it. Adrenaline, we actually say that adrenaline rush when you watch horror movies or when you go on like a giant roller coaster and things like that, right? And then inhibits bladder contraction, stimulates orgasm also. So all of these are basically controlled or actions of the sympathetic system. Now, in case you're finding it difficult to make sense of this, let me tell you, these are actually situations that would arise. These are basically activities, or rather symptoms, that arise as a result of certain emergency situations or certain sudden situations that your entire body, you yourself, are coming across. Like for example, if you happen to, like, coming back to the same example, the snake example, what would happen when you feel scared? Your heartbeat accelerates, you start breathing very fast, so your sympathetic system pumps more adrenaline, right? So as a result, what your body is trying to do is, these are all just a few examples of the activities that your sympathetic system does. But then the ultimate aim of the sympathetic system is to help you handle that situation smoothly, escape that situation, or handle it smoothly. So what it would do is, your body in such a situation is basically trying to rush all the blood away from whatever your body has been doing, and trying to send in, push in maximum blood to your heart, so that your heart can function well enough. That is why your breathing rate is also going up, so that more oxygen can be pumped in. And as a result of fast heartbeat, it's trying to pump all that blood to your muscles also, so that it can help you run away from that situation, right? So this is what your sympathetic system does: fight or flight. And then comes the parasympathetic system, which does exactly the opposite of what your sympathetic system does, because the caption that best describes the parasympathetic system is rest or digest. Okay, so as you have seen, it's located chiefly at two places: anteriorly in the head and neck, and posteriorly in the sacral region. But anyway, just understand that all the things that your parasympathetic system does would be contradictory to the sympathetic system. But if you give it a little bit of thought, they are actually not contradicting each other. They are basically working in collaboration with each other. What do I mean? Well, we are coming back to the same story wherein you saw a snake, and your sympathetic system is like on fire, and it pumped all the blood. Your heart started beating fast, your breathing rate increased, and it pumped all the blood to your legs and your hands, so that you could like run as fast as you could and run away from it. Okay, now you have managed to go to a safe place, and your body has to come back to its normalcy, right? To a normal state. That is what parasympathetic system helps in. After the emergency situation, it helps your system get back to its normal resting state. And when you feel completely rested and relaxed, your blood is now getting pumped back into its normal places, like helping in digestion, like pumped to the intestine so the digestion can be taken care of. It's pumped to other regions so that bile release can be stimulated. All of these, anything that will help in coming back, help your body in coming back to its normal state. This is what parasympathetic system does. So in order to come back to its normal state, obviously it would be its immediate actions, it would be opposite to what the sympathetic system does. So instead of dilating the pupil of your eyes, these would constrict the pupil. This one would stimulate flow of saliva. It would constrict the bronchi, slow down heartbeat because it's trying to come back to normalcy, and stimulates peristalsis and secretion, stimulates bile release, contracts bladder, and so on. These are all examples of activities or functions of the parasympathetic system, which helps you get back to your normal state after you have escaped the emergency situation. So now tell me, Are they actually opposing each other, sympathetic and parasympathetic, or are they going hand in hand? Of course, they are going hand in hand, right? Because without the parasympathetic system, your body would continue to be in that state of adrenaline rush, right? Okay, and let's now come back to what we were discussing, the parasympathetic nerves and the sympathetic nerves, an overview of it so that you can get a better idea at one glance how exactly they are working in collaboration with each other. For example, parasympathetic nerves constrict your pupils, sympathetic nerves are dilating your pupils. Here, stimulate saliva, inhibit saliva, and so on and on and on. You can just go through it when you have some time, because the PDF is definitely, as always, available in the description box below. Okay, children. So, also one more thing that I want to tell you here is, I've told you about the ganglia in autonomic nervous system, right? The arrangement of ganglia would actually be different for sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves, because their roles are obviously different. In the case of sympathetic nerves, for example, ganglia would be located closer to the central nervous system, maybe close to the spinal cord. Whereas parasympathetic nerves, the ganglia would be located farther away from the central nervous system, but closer to the target organs. Okay, yes. So this is all about the peripheral nervous system. Now, time for a quick check. Let us see how much of what we have discussed you guys have understood. So here comes the first question for you. Dash pairs of cranial nerves are present in the human body: 10, 31, 12, or 9? Yes. Okay, and your time is up. The answer is 12. 12 pairs of cranial nerves. What is 31? Number of spinal nerve pairs that you have. Okay, the type of nervous system that helps in emergency situations. Is it your central nervous system, somatic nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, or parasympathetic nervous system? And your time is up. Sympathetic nervous system. Now, in case you find it difficult to remember, just remember that sympathetic nervous system, like the name indicates, it's got sympathy for you. So it's trying to help you out from the dangerous situation. Okay, parasympathetic would be working hand in hand with it. Okay, and the last question for the day. Voluntary muscular action is controlled by dash: somatic nervous system, autonomic nervous system, central nervous system, or sympathetic nervous system. Voluntary muscular action. And your time is up. The answer is somatic nervous system, of course. Voluntary muscular action, because this is what sends in messages from your central nervous system to the voluntary muscles of your body, or the skeletal muscles of your body. So very, very well done. Now do remember, children, to take care of your brain, take care of your central nervous system, take care of your body as such by, just like what that cartoon indicates, meditating at least for a couple of minutes every day. Okay, children, so just one more quick overview for you to have a look. Okay, just in case I'm blocking your view. Yes, the nervous system is broadly divided into central nervous system, which is the body's master control unit, and the peripheral nervous system, which is the body's link to the outside world. Central nervous system chiefly includes the spinal cord and the brain. Okay, brainstem also, but then it's anyway a part of the brain itself. Okay, so the parts of the brain are chiefly the forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. So in case you have a confusion in those parts, please do have a look at the replay of my previous session. Okay, guys, and then comes spinal cord, which is a column basically that runs from your brain to the hip area, enclosed within the vertebral column. And then comes the peripheral nervous system, which we have discussed today. There are two broad categories of it: autonomic nervous system and somatic nervous system. Somatic nervous system, which carries information to and from the central nervous system and the sensory organs and your muscles, your voluntary muscles, basically. Okay, and then your autonomic nervous system, which regulates involuntary body processes like heart rate, respiration, digestion, pupil contraction. Pupils are part of your eyes, just in case you've lost link of that. Pupil contraction, and it operates automatically without any conscious direction. That is exactly why autonomic, the name autonomic, is into picture. And then that is broadly further classified as sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic, wherein It's the part of your nervous system which has sympathy for you and helps in preparing your body for action and stress, fight or flight. Parasympathetic, where we write it as rest or and digest. Okay, digestion would be optimally happening and you will be in a relaxed state. Okay, so this is what happens in your parasympathetic system, which helps in calming down your body after overcoming the emergency situation. Okay, so let me remind you that you now know about the peripheral nervous system, somatic nervous system, and the autonomic nervous system. Basically, PNS is subdivided into somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. Okay, and here comes the homework question for today. How many spinal nerves are found in the human body? All right, so give me the answer to that. I know it's a very, very straightforward answer. Let's see who's giving me the first answer. Do remember, children, to visit the link in the description box below and the pinned comment in the comment section below and use the coupon code AMBPRO to avail the best benefits that we have out there in the Vedantu Pro subscription courses. Now, children, as always, before you leave the session, please do remember to click on the like button if you have found this useful and share it with all your friends, because I know this is one chapter that many ICSE class 10 students or even whichever board and whichever grade has the nervous system as a chapter, this is one chapter that gives nightmares to many of you. Okay, but we are taking it slow and steady, not to worry at all. So do share it with anyone who you think would find it useful. And of course, please do stay subscribed to our channel Vedantu 9th and 10th English, because it's not just biology, it is all your major subjects for all your major grades and boards that we take care of: CBSE 9, CBSE 10 and ICSE 10. Although we wish we could take up more boards and more grades also on this channel, well, currently this is what we can practically do. So let's go one step at a time. As you know, last year we didn't have so much focus on ICSE, although biology had a lot of focus. This year, at least, we've tried to cover ICSE, all the subjects of ICSE as much as we do for CBSE also. Okay, so let's take one step at a time. And do remember to ping me or send me an email on at ambika.gopalakrishna@vedantu.com in case you want any kind of support from my side, be it academically or some kind of motivational support that you need, because I know many of you have already been getting in touch with me, so do continue doing that. And also, one more thing I would like to tell you, children, please post in the comment section what kinds of sessions that you would want in the weeks to come. Okay, because it's already the month of November. November is just around the corner. November is coming very soon, and I know you guys might want different kinds of sessions. What is it that you prefer? One shot series, sprint tech series, or something else that you are looking for? So just give your ideas in the comment section below so that we can try and take up those. And until we meet again, children, do remember to stay happy and stay safe. And this is Ambika signing off. Bye bye.